Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Student Loan Justice live stream for Sunday evening, March 7th. My name is Alan Collins. Welcome. We're glad you found us. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them out in stream. If I can see them, I will comment on them. I'm going to try and keep it pretty short tonight. Things are really hopping, folks. First, quick announcement. If you live in Georgia and you want to be interviewed about your student loans, let us know. Let me know. Let Ed know. You can email me, studentloanjustice.org. This is for a national news broadcast, hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, which brings me around to why this is important. We discovered recently that 19 states in the United States owe more than their entire state budgets in student loan debt. In Georgia, people of Georgia owe $80 billion in student loan debt. The entire state budget of Georgia is only I think $48 billion. So that's 169% of their entire state budget the people of Georgia owes in student loan debt. That's the worst in the country by far, but Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Missouri, they're not far behind. So this is huge news, folks. If you look over here or down there, you will, somewhere connected to this, you will see our press release. Get that press release to the press. Whether you live in one of those states or if you don't, send it to local media, particularly in those states mentioned. Well, first of all, read it for yourself. It's just jaw-dropping. This is going to be big news, folks, and it all started here. You heard it here first. But, folks, we need your help to spread the word. Got to alert the media. So do that. Read the press release. Send it to local, statewide, national media. So there's that. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff going on I don't consider too important. The COVID stimulus just passed. The only thing for student loans was an exemption from taxation in the case of canceled student loan debt, and that could be very significant. As you know, we are calling on the president to cancel all student loans by executive order. This lending system has catastrophically failed by all metrics and measures. This is a woman's problem. This is a problem for the African American community. This is a problem for older people. This is a problem for red states. In fact, it's a big problem for 80% of all federal student loan borrowers, all private student loan borrowers for that matter. Very happy to report the petition is so close to 1 million signatures. So when you contact the media and you mention that press release, you send them that press release, mention our petition as well, change.org/cancel student loans. But yeah, if we do get, and I think we should get, in a fair world, we should get presidential cancellation on this. Biden is a politician. Whatever he came out with, he will change. He will go the way the wind blows. And we are a freaking hurricane as soon as we get our act together. If we can get even one Republican governor to stand up and say, President Biden, cancel these loans, I think that would be the domino that we need to knock over that would get the whole problem done. And remember also, we are pushing for the return of bankruptcy protections to all student loans as well. So if you're saddled with private student loans, you definitely want to be in this group. We should have good legislation coming out any day now that will return bankruptcy protections to all the loans that the president cannot cancel by executive order. And that is so important. In many ways, bankruptcy is more important than student loan cancellation, because right now we're looking at just lame, partial, ridiculous nonsense, basically meaningless loan cancellation, this up to $10,000, up to $50,000 nonsense. That language is going to go out the window, folks. We need the entire lending system canceled. And what will certainly help that in happening quicker rather than taking longer is the return of bankruptcy protections to all student loans. So stay tuned on that. There was a lawsuit where I think it was a judge found that Sallie Mae Navient committed some fraud against borrowers. And guys, don't even trip on that. That's just nonsense. We've lost court. We've lost confidence in the legal system. many years ago. We've seen these cases, including bankruptcy cases as well, come and go and come again and go again. Class action lawsuits, yada, yada, yada. Guys, the legal system is not going to save us on this. The lenders, even the Department of Education, they are very good at defending themselves in court. So this most current case, it's going to get appealed and appealed and appealed. Ultimately, it will probably wind up in some sort of a settlement, which will be under seal. So the whole case will just come to nothing. And that's what most of the bankruptcy cases come to as well. So I'm not even going to talk for one more second about that because it's just bullshit. We've got bigger fish to fry, folks. We've got to get these loans canceled. We've got to get bankruptcy returned to all student loans. That is where the fight is. And this press release that we just issued is very likely could be what makes all that stuff happen. So please just send that press release to local, state, national media, and let's get this rolling. So, you know, I don't really know what more I can say tonight. I think I've gone on for 6 minutes now. I'm trying to keep my live streams very short. I will only say, folks, that we have found over the years that this problem will only get solved with your efforts, my efforts, and your efforts. This is from the ground up. The media is not our friend. Forbes, Yahoo, even CNBC, they are fighting essentially for the swamp. You look at the people that they interview, and they are interviewing, the experts they're interviewing are establishment people. Most of them live in Washington, D.C. And, you know, folks, we cannot count on the media to solve this problem for us. We work with the media. Don't get me wrong. We are trying to get the truth out as hard as we can through the media, and we will continue to do that. But we cannot count on the media. We can't count on the so-called student loan advocates in Washington, D.C. to solve this problem for us. That has never worked. We would not be around if that worked. It doesn't work. That's why we're here. And that's why I'm so glad that you found us. Spread the word about this group, about our petition, and right now about that press release that we just put out. It is so important, guys. It's going to change the game for us. You know, conservatives have been against us. The conservative media is just completely ridiculous. Conservative media is saying, oh, don't cancel loans. That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Well, these conservative people claiming to be conservatives, they're actually fighting for the worst big government monstrosity this country has ever seen. The worst big government lending scam in the history of this country. No true conservative should be on their side. And by the way, they're cutting their own throat. Because 55% of all student loan borrowers identify as being either Republican or independent. So while they are fighting for the colleges who they claim to hate, while they are fighting for the worst big government sort of socialist monster that you can imagine, as they would claim, it just exposes the hypocrisy on the right now. They're fighting for the swamp. They're not fighting for us. That's got to change. But we, as I said, we can't count on them. This starts with you. You should be, whether you live in one of those states that I mentioned or not, you should be stunned. Whether you have student loans or not, if you live in Georgia, you should be absolutely astonished and appalled that the people of Georgia owe 169% of the state's budget in student loan debt. That should just rock you. Anyone, whether they have student loans or not. This lending system is done, guys. It's finished. It's catastrophically failed. This pandemic should be the nail in the coffin. So, come on, guys. Please help. Starts with you. These are your loans. This is your problem. I'm doing everything I can. Our state chapter leaders in our state chapters, we're doing what we can do. They need your help. This problem is not going to be a wait, watch, and worry proposition for you. You can't wait, you can't watch and worry and do nothing. You cannot. These are your loans. This is your problem. But you know, I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's really the first time that I can really say that in the 16 years that we've been doing this. But we need you, so please help. We're on a good path, but we got to have more people step up and help. So Okay, folks, I'm going to leave it there. The last thing I will say is if you can donate at this time, it would be extremely appreciated. studentloanjustice.org/support. We survive and thrive on very little funding, personal gifts, very small donations from normal people, and we can do it on very little, but we can't do it on nothing. So if you're pleased with all that we have gotten done with this petition that started the entire conversation about canceling student loans by executive order, by the way, if you're happy with all that we are poised to accomplish, please throw something into the tip jar, guys. We can't do this on nothing. So, okay, with that, I will wish you all a great week. Let's make this the best week ever for student loans, for student loan justice, I should say. Let's make this an historic week. It starts with you. Good luck. Godspeed. God bless everybody.